Hi, this is Kevin at the Virtual Planetarium at Raritan Valley Community College. Welcome to our weekly Star Talk. Today we're going to be talking about the upcoming winter solstice. But before we do that, let's talk about our upcoming moon phases. We have a last quarter moon on December 26th, we have a new moon on January 2nd, and then we have first quarter moon on January 9th. Now, like I said, today we're going to be talking about the upcoming winter solstice. The solstice is going to happen on December 21st, and that also means that it's going to be the shortest day of the year. So we're looking at a website called timeanddate.com right now. This is the same website we use to look up information about upcoming eclipses and stuff. But right now we're using it to see the different daylight lengths. So here we have a graph for our location here in central New Jersey, and we see that the daylight is the light blue over here, and then the nighttime is the dark blue over here. And we see how that increases as we go to the summer, the middle of the year, and then decreases as we get towards the winter. We also see this little jump right here. This is the daylight savings jump. We see how it jumps up in the spring and how it falls back in the fall. But if we scroll further down, I'm going to put the link for this page in the description of the video, we can see a chart with the daytime information for this month, which is December. So here we have it set up for the 19th, and we can see the day sunrise time and the sunset time. But we can also see a lot of good information like the day length right here, and this is what we're going to talk about today. So like I mentioned, the solstice is on December 21st, so we're going to find that right here. And we're going to see that the sunrise time is 7:18 in the morning, and the sun sets at 4:35 at night. And we see that the day length is 9 hours, 16 minutes, and 2 seconds. And if we look at the chart right here, we see that all the ones before that are a little bit longer, and all the ones after that are also a little bit longer. So this day is also known as the shortest day of the year because it's the one where we have the shortest length of day length right here. We can also see this in the chart that we had up top, but we can see it easier in this table that we have down here. Now the term solstice stands for sun stop, and that's because when we look at the sun in the sky, it looks like it's moving up and down and changing positions depending on the day of the year. Right now we have the date set up for December 21st. We have the date down here, and then we have it for noon, so the middle of the day. Now we have the sun right here in the sky, and we also have this grid up here so we can kind of tell the position of the sun a little bit better. So as the year goes on, as the days go on, you'll notice how the sun moves up in the sky. So right now we're going back in time, and we notice how the sun is moving upwards. But the important thing is that the sun isn't always in the same place in the sky, even at the same time of day. And that's because it keeps moving up and down in the sky, and that's because of the Earth's tilt. It's not really the sun moving in space. But on December 21st, we see, so actually let's go back 1 month to November 24th, and we are going to fast forward time, and we're going to notice how the sun is moving down and down and down until we get to December 21st, and then it stops going down and starts going back up in the sky. And this is where the term solstice comes from, because the sun is following this path up and down in the sky, and in the December solstice, it goes as far down as it can in the sky, and then it bounces back and starts going back up in the sky as well. Eventually, it'll reach a point where it can't go any higher up in the sky, and that is the summer solstice or the June solstice, and then it starts coming back down again. And this is a pattern that the sun repeats every year, and that's why the solstice dates are so important and have been so important throughout history for a lot of different cultures. It's a good way to measure time and to know where we are in our orbit around the sun fairly accurately. And now we're still fast forwarding time where we see the sun is coming right back down. We have the date set up for October next year, and as we get again close to December 21st, we're going to notice that the sun stops at the bottom of as far south as it will in the sky. And because it's so far down in the sky, that's why we have the really short days. So that's why this is the shortest day of the year, because the sun is closer to the horizon, so it's taking a shorter path to go from east to west. But as the sun starts moving back up in its spot, that path is going to be longer and longer, and that's why we get the days getting longer and longer. So that's pretty cool. All right, now we're going to change gears a little bit and talk a little bit about Comet Leonard, which, like I mentioned in last week's video, is up in the sky. It's not a naked eye object, so we can't see it without the help of telescopes or binoculars. And also, it is very, very close to the western horizon. But I still want to point it out because just in case you have a very clear view of the western horizon, it's actually visible fairly close to Venus. And it's going to be visible for the next few nights, but as the days move along, it's going to be getting dimmer and dimmer in the sky because it's moving further and further away from the Earth, so that's why it's going to start getting dimmer. But as the days move on, right now we have the sky set up for today at 5:36, so December 19th at 5:30 at night. If we move the days along, we're going to notice how Comet Leonard moves horizontally in the sky. So it's going to be just as high up over the horizon, which isn't very high up, so you need a very clear view of the southwestern horizon. But if you do and you have a nice pair of binoculars, you can point it at this part of the sky and maybe catch a glimpse of this comet. Now, if you aren't able to see the comet in the sky with your own eyes or with the telescope or binoculars, don't worry. That's actually not the best way to see comets in the sky because they're pretty dim unless you take a really nice picture of them. And there's a lot of people out there that can get really, really good pictures of comets in the sky. For example, here we have a picture taken by Dan Bartlett. This was the astronomy picture of the day on December 12th. And we have the beautiful comet right here in the sky going in front of a star cluster. This is something you're never going to be able to see with just your eyes. So pictures are really helpful to give you the full image of how beautiful a comet can really be. So that's pretty cool. All right, thank you so much for joining us this week. Hope you learned something new. Hope you are happy that the days are getting longer, just like me. I'm not really a fan of these really short days, even though if it means more nighttime, which is good for the stars, but it gets really cold, so I'm not a fan of that. If you like this video, be sure to give us a like, and if you haven't yet, please subscribe to our channel. We're going to be trying to put out a new video every week. We might be taking a break for the holidays, but we'll see next week. Once again, thank you for joining us, and hope you have a great week.